Good morning, vinyl community. Hi, hope everybody is doing swell. It's Rob here for another video. Just thought I'd get this one in. Otherwise, my backlog of vinyl finds is going to be, it's going to be sort of backlogging till probably the end of the year, Christmas and beyond, I would think. So, thought I ought to get in, as it were. Slightly different environment. I'm here at my wife's house, just looking after my son for last night, and well, she's coming back later this morning, so I will regain my freedom. And yeah, beautiful day. Be looking forward to going out and having a nice long walk, I think, and soaking up some of this early autumnal Indian summer that we are hopefully going to be getting here in the UK over the next few days. So anyway, enough jabbering from me. Went for my usual vinyl dig at Ben's SJ Records. Haven't done a plug for a while, so why not? So there we go. Yeah, Stratford upon Avon. Great little shop in the antique centre on Rother Street, opposite the Shakespeare birthplace. So if you're ever in Stratford on Avon, I heartily recommend that you check him out. Okay, so got about, I think there's seven or eight here that I picked up, and I'll whip through them. Okay, so starting off, this was an artist that I was hitherto not aware of. It's one of those artists that you think that you've heard at some stage, but I wasn't absolutely 100% sure and couldn't place it, even if I had. This is the seventh studio album by a duo called Ian and Sylvia. Okay, so this is 1967 release. Sort of easy listening sort of style, very kind of laid back. This one was, I think, it was a label jump for them, and sort of, I think, due to a contractual change from what I read on Wikipedia, it was released quite quickly. But there is a sort of slight change of direction. And yeah, I mean, there's some interesting moments on it. It's not a killer album by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly Windy Weather, the opening track, the second track, Hang On to a Dream, and then Loving Sound, the title track, which I think may have been a single, but they're sort of stretching out maybe into the sort of more sort of pop psych touches of the day. So, but yeah, quite typical kind of stuff, pop stuff from that era. But it was really cheap, so I was happy to pick it up. Okay, right into the stratosphere now, as it were. This was one that Ben pointed out to me last week. Wasn't familiar with this band at all. Apparently, they're a pioneer of sort of early krautrock, and it was certainly on the right side of my sort of sweet spot in terms of melody. But yeah, really enjoyed this. This is a reissue. Sorry about the nudity there. A reissue of Zol Caravan. The band Zol Caravan, and this is their album Electric from 1969. So as you can tell from the sleeve there, you kind of know the kind of ride that you're in for with a record like this. Sometimes krautrock can be a bit of hit or miss for me. If it's too kind of dissonant, noisy and out there, I don't tend to enjoy it. This is quite funky, upbeat, intense in places, quite very progressive, but good melodies, and sort of interesting arrangements, and really enjoyed it. This is apparently their second of 3 albums. I think this was originally released on Hansa Records, German label. That's the inner label there. And obviously, great. Really happy to pick this up and add it to the collection. I know it's definitely one that Pete, sounds from the West Coast, would be into. I dare say he's got that album. Okay, next one is a guitarist that I have heard before. Never see his albums in the wild, as soon as I played this, stream this online, I wanted to pick it up. This is Dave Evans and Take a Bite Out of Life. Not an awful lot to show here because this is I think a promotional test, white label test pressing. It's got a date up there, 10th of August 1976, and somebody signed it Sergio something or other. I don't know whether that was the owner, the previous owner, or I don't know, DJ or something maybe. Not an awful lot to show, just literally a white plain disc, but there's no spindle marks on it. Looks like it's virtually unplayed. So really pleased to get this. And I mean, Dave Evans, he's this is his last album that he recorded. Ben shared a YouTube clip of him playing on what Old Grey Whistle Test. Amazing guitar player, really individual kind of picking style, using a lot of hammer-on technique, a lot of detuned, different weird tunings. Fantastic, really interesting, excellent stuff. Delighted to get this, and we'll be definitely looking to pick some more stuff up of his. Okay, excuse me, I'm just gonna have a slurp of coffee, bit of a Nas Nomad. Cheers. Okay, next one is a very welcome addition to my Francois Hardy collection. Okay, I think this is a 60s one, a later 60s one. I've never seen before. Lovely pictures there. Fabulous photography. Look at that. Imagine having Francois Hardy delivered to you in a crate. There you go. Wasn't she lovely? And still is, actually. I've seen pictures of her recently. She is still lovely. So that's on the original French label, the disc Vogue. Okay, I have no idea what the title of this album is. And this is one of the issues with Francois Hardy, because she had a propensity never to, or very rarely to actually title her records. So when you're sort of looking them up, or talking to people about them, you have to almost describe the cover, because the majority of them are called Francois Hardy. I have one called Voila, which is a 66 release. The majority of them are just self-titled. I think the first album has been reissued as Tous les gars sont les filles, which was her, I think, her first single. Yeah, so that has the moniker Mon Joli, so I would imagine that's mono, particularly given the era that it was released in. But yeah, in really decent condition, and yeah, this has got a couple of lovely songs on the Je n'attends plus personne and Mon ami la rose, fantastic songs. But really looking forward to giving that one a listen. So yeah, nice pickup there. Staying with the French language, this is an interesting one. Never heard this, obviously familiar with the artist. This is Brell from 1977, so this is Jacques Brell's last studio album. Nice picture of Jacques there. So yeah, I mean, I kind of obviously got into this through listening to David Bowie and Scott Walker, who's hugely influenced by Brel, as a lot of those kind of 60s artists were. So I have streamed some of this, and it's quite intense. It's not an easy listen, but then his music is very, very intense and usually of that nature. So one of these ones I'm probably going to have to listen to a few times to really let it get under my skin. But it was pretty inexpensive, so happy to pick that one up. Okay, nice pickup here. I think he's had this one for Ben's had this one for a while, but I just never got around to picking it up. It's another one to add to my John Renborne collection. This is Sir John Lott, Merry England's Music Thing and Ye Green Knight, to give it its full title. There you go, we've got John poking through the armour there. So yeah, this is I got a compilation which was essentially tracks compiled from both this album and the later one, Lady and the Unicorn, which is excellent. This one's equally as good. Really, really nice. Sort of modern interpretations of sort of medieval and sort of very old English folk songs, and he just does it really, really well, probably better than anybody else, certainly that I've heard anyway. So yeah, this one's from 1968 on that original transatlantic label. In pretty good condition, and didn't pay an awful lot for it, so nice, pleased to get that one. Okay, next one was kind of almost thrown in at the end. This is the last one out of Van Morrison's really early catalogue that I was missing. This is a sort of bit of a tired reissue, but I'm just glad to get the music, and it was really, really cheap. So this is Van Morrison, his band and the street choir. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think the original of this was Gatefold. It's on that 80s Warner's label. Yeah, I don't think this is necessarily one of his better best albums, but I think any early band from this period is always worth listening to, and for the money I paid for it, very very pleased to get it. So okay, and the last one was one that I actually, I've seen this shown several times, relatively recently actually. I know Pete Sounds from the West Coast is a fan of this, and I think Alan Static Traveller had an original as well. I really, really enjoyed this and was happy to pick up a reissue. This is a Brazil Machine, 1969, I believe. Progressive, folky, psych, yeah, all the stuff that just ticks all the boxes for me. Lovely kind of period artwork there as well. Reminds me a bit of that, is it Welcome to the Citadel, I think. A little bit similar to that. Yeah, really, really nice record this is. Interesting, changes up, progressive. With the female vocals, you can tell it's kind of borrowed from sort of, you know, progressive English folk at the time, Pentangle and Fairport Convention, I guess, Spyro Gyra maybe. Yeah, really, really enjoyed this, and it's actually a Spanish pressing. This is. It's on Wawa Records. A nice mushroom label there. So yeah, really looking forward to getting that home and giving that one a spin. Fantastic stuff. Okay guys, so that's it. Fairly quick. Yeah, hopefully be back soon with another roundup and getting, because I've got such a backlog of stuff that I've bought. I'm going to try and maybe get, I always say this, but try and get a bit more creative and think of some themes for videos. If any of you have any ideas out there, please send them my way, because my creativity for this kind of thing is always sadly lacking, and I do apologise for that. So hardly surprising I've been losing subscribers. But there you go. So anyway guys, have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll catch up again really soon. Cheers, all the best. Thanks, bye.